Are you a fan of romantic comedy films? What about British comedy? One of the best films that married the two was Love Actually, which remains one of the best romantic comedy films in recent cinematic history. Have you wondered what the Love Actually cast members are up to now? Let's look back at the Love Actually cast then and now. Sam and Joanna. Let's start with the youngest stars. There was the love story between Sam and Joanna, played by Thomas Brodie-Sanger and Olivia Olson. Thomas Brodie-Sanger had acted in a few TV films before Love Actually, but it was his role as Sam that made him much more famous. For many Love Actually fans, they always think of Thomas Brodie-Sanger as Sam. But since then, he's appeared in many popular films and TV shows. He voiced the character of Ferb in the animated series Phineas and Ferb. He also appeared in the Italian miniseries Pinocchio as Lampwick. One of his most recent major TV roles was as Jojen Reed in Game of Thrones. He also made waves on a couple Netflix series, playing Whitey Wynn on Godless and chess player Benny Watts in The Queen's Gambit. Olivia Olson also became famous for her role as Joanna. Part of it involved her singing Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. This led to her pursuing a career as a singer in addition to her acting career. Since then, she's become a notable voice actress. Along with Thomas Brodie-Sanger, she had a role in Phineas and Ferb as Vanessa Doofenshmirtz. She's also known for her role as Marceline, the Vampire Queen, in Adventure Time. Olson is also an accomplished writer. She authored the Adventure Time graphic novel Marcy and Simon. She's also co-authored a couple books and is continuing to pursue her writing career alongside acting and singing. As a singer, she's released 2 albums. Sam's father was played by Liam Neeson, who was already a huge star. His role as single father Daniel showed a gentler side to him and showed his versatility as an actor. Since then, Liam Neeson has continued to become one of Hollywood's biggest stars, with the Taken series being his most popular work in recent times. Before we tell you more about the Love Actually cast then and now, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Trender for more. Billy Mack and Joe. Billy Mack is the rock and roll singer played by Bill Nighy. His manager Joe was played by Gregor Fisher. Bill Nighy had begun his acting career in theater. His notable theater work includes roles in plays like Arcadia, Blue Orange, and Skylight. One of his early popular film roles was in the 1998 British comedy film Still Crazy, where he played a rock star. Since then, Bill Nighy has become one of the UK's most recognized stars. He played Davy Jones in 2 Pirates of the Caribbean films. He also played Rufus Scrimgeour in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. His recent film roles have been in the films Minamata and Buckley's Chance, and he's expected to appear in the upcoming British drama film Living. Anyone who's followed Scottish comedy knows the name Gregor Fisher. He's best known for his role as Rab C. Nesbitt, one of Scottish TV's most popular comedy characters. Apart from his role in Love Actually, he's also acted in major films like 1984, The Girl in the Picture, White Mischief, and To Kill a Priest. His most recent film roles include work in Wild Target alongside Bill Nighy and the 2016 film Whiskey Galore. His most recent TV work is playing the role of Ray in The Cockfields. He took over the role following Bobby Ball's death in 2020. Harry and Karen. Harry and Karen are a married couple who have problems in their marriage, which results in Harry eventually having an affair with Mia. Harry was played by Alan Rickman and Karen by Emma Thompson. Alan Rickman was one of the UK's most iconic actors. He studied at the prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts and later performed with the Royal Shakespeare Company. His early film work included playing the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Colonel Brandon in Sense and Sensibility, and Mark Antony in Antony and Cleopatra. He was also lauded for his role as Hans Gruber in Die Hard. In the 2000s and 2010s, he became known for playing Severus Snape in the Harry Potter series. Alan Rickman passed away from cancer in 2016. It's fitting that Karen was played by Emma Thompson, as she, like Alan Rickman, is one of the UK's most iconic talents. She got her start acting in many popular British comedies, including working alongside her Cambridge University friends Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie. She also appeared in the popular British films The Tall Guy, Howard's End, Peter's Friends, The Remains of the Day, and Maybe Baby. She's continued her film career since then, with her most recent roles in offerings such as Last Christmas, Doolittle, and Cruella. Jamie and Aurélia. Jamie is an English writer who falls in love with his Portuguese housekeeper, Aurélia. They don't share a language, yet still manage to fall in love. Colin Firth played Jamie, and he was one of the biggest stars in the film. He became a huge star by playing Mr. Darcy in the TV adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. Since his role in Love Actually, he became even more popular with his role as King George VI in The King's Speech, for which he won an Oscar. He's since appeared in films such as Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Kingsman, Mamma Mia, Mary Poppins Returns, and 1917. Aurélia was played by Lucia Moniz. She's a famous Portuguese singer and actress who became known to English-speaking audiences with her role in Love Actually. Her most recent film roles were in the Portuguese films Fátima and Listen, both released in 2020. She's also acted in the Portuguese telenovela Na Corda Bamba, also released in 2020. David and Natalie. The British Prime Minister, or David if you prefer, was played by heartthrob Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant has established himself as one of the most well-known stars of romantic films, comedies, or dramas. He made his name with roles in films like The Englishman Who Went Up a Hill But Came Down a Mountain, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and Notting Hill. His popular film roles since Love Actually include work in Cloud Atlas, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Paddington 2, and The Gentleman. He also played Dr. Jonathan Fraser in the 2020 HBO limited series The Undoing. He also appeared in the Black Mirror mockumentary Death to 2020. Natalie, the Prime Minister's love interest, was played by Martine McCutcheon. Before her role, she became known for her role as Tiffany Mitchell in the popular British soap opera EastEnders. She also had a role in the 2001 British comedy film Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Her most recent film role was in the 2018 film The Bromley Boys. Juliet, Peter, and Mark. Love Actually also starred some of the most famous young talents in the UK. Juliet was played by Keira Knightley, who became famous with her role in Bend It Like Beckham, released the previous year. Since then, she's become a huge film star, appearing in films like the Pirates of the Caribbean series, Pride and Prejudice, Imitation Game, and Silent Night. In Love Actually, we see Juliet get married to Peter, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. While his role in Love Actually was rather small, he's now one of British cinema's most famous actors. One of his most famous roles in the UK was in the British film Dirty Pretty Things. He rose to international stardom when he played Solomon Northup in the Steve McQueen film 12 Years a Slave. Mark was Peter's best man and also Juliet's secret admirer. He was played by Andrew Lincoln. He started his career appearing in British TV dramas including Wuthering Heights and The Canterbury Tales. Since Love Actually, he's become primarily known for his role as Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. His latest film role was in the 2020 drama film Penguin Bloom. What about Colin and Rufus? We can't wrap up this video without talking about 2 of the most memorable comic characters in the film. Colin was played by Chris Marshall. In Love Actually, he struggles to have any luck with the ladies in England. When Colin travels to America, he seems to attract all the ladies because of his accent. Chris Marshall has regularly acted in popular British comedy series. His most famous role was as Detective Inspector Humphrey Goodman in the comedy mystery series Death in Paradise. He was also the original actor who played Dave in the BBC sitcom Citizen Khan. His popular film roles since then have included roles in Death at a Funeral and Father Christmas is Back. His most recent work is in the upcoming romantic drama Promises. When Harry tries to buy a necklace without Karen finding out, he ends up dealing with Rufus the jeweler. Rufus was played by one of British comedy's living legends, Rowan Atkinson. Rowan became a famous comic performer with his role in the sketch comedy series Not the 9 O'Clock News. It was through the various characters he played that audiences became familiar with his unique comic style. He later starred as Edmund Blackadder on Blackadder, which was co-written by Richard Curtis, with whom Rowan attended Oxford University. One of his greatest comic creations was, of course, Mr. Bean, which made him an international star. He's also known for his roles in Never Say Never Again, The Tall Guy, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, the Johnny English films, and more. He's a national treasure in the UK, and his small role in Love Actually is one of the best parts of the film. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Love Actually is the best romantic comedy film in recent times? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Trender if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.